Hello, all. Welcome. We're about a week removed from all the madness that the trade period brought us. So now we can talk in more of a relaxed state and look forward to delisted free agency, the rookie draft, the national draft. We'll do a bit of a trade recap as well. So there's heaps to catch up on. We haven't done this type of stream since I think it was last Wednesday when it all sort of ended, the madness. So it's good to see everybody here. Who's in the comment section? We've got TCI Edits who says, "G'day." Stefanos, how are you, mate? And I guess let's start with the trade recap. So going into this window of trades, we didn't really believe as a fan base that we had capital to move to try get a really prominent player, a two-time All-Australian, Dan Houston. Harry Perryman was sort of there was murmurs around that from time to time, and then really, I guess, fast-tracked as soon as that the free agency window opened before the trade period. So that happened pretty quickly, and we get him on a contract where we don't have to give up any picks, which definitely was conducive to getting Dan Houston. The fact that we didn't need to give up picks for Perryman, yeah, we're paying him 800-900K, whatever the undisclosed amount is. But in a world where contracts are inflated, the total player payments will be going up next year. The fact that this is a player economy, where in a sense players have the power, unfortunately, giving clubs as a whole less power, less pull in these conversations, I think we've done well. Perryman, and effectively by not giving up any picks, we get Dan Houston. So we've got we know Houston's an A+ grade player. Perryman's probably in the B ratings at the moment, and more is to be seen with him in the next year, right? Leper has suggested that Perryman will play in the half-back line. Houston will play in the half-back line. So we'll see where their careers lie. But Perryman, to start off with, probably won't be on a wing. He probably won't be on ball. He will reside in the back line. And then as the veterans, the side bottoms, the Pendleburys retire in the next year or two, Perryman will get more and more opportunity. The most amount of time he's spent in the midfield in his career was in 2022, where he averaged 30% midfield time for the entirety of the season. So there's still something to be seen there with Perryman when it comes to his, I guess, ability or potential in the midfield. So that's something we're yet to have seen, right? So we'll see that in the black and white. And it's funny, it was on the Dylan Buckley show. He called Perryman live on show. He said, "Mate, like, what's the deal? You're going to wear number 36? And Perryman goes, "That's a heavy number." And obviously referring to the fact that Dane Swan wore that number. So, and he thinks, we think as well that Houston will take number 9. And it seems like the other available number would be number 12. So carrying on from Luke Ball. I'm actually not too sure who else has worn number 12 in the past, guys. Feel like there would be a couple, obviously, but yeah, maybe Perryman wears number 12. I don't know if he wants to bear further pressure and wear number 36. So by the sounds of his tone when he was speaking to Dylan Buckley, it didn't sound like he was too keen on wearing number 36. What else have I got for you? We can talk about the draft. So with Collingwood giving up pick 36, we're effectively saying we can't get Armstrong, we can't get Jonty Fall, we can't get one of the Whitlock twins, and we can't get Jobe Shanahan, right? Because those are more your top 30, top 35 prospects, key tall prospects that are going to be in the draft. So they're the cream of the crop when it comes to the key forwards in this year's draft. The other options are players like Thomas Sims from Northern Knights. We've got Charlie Nichols, who's from South Australia. Floyd, let me get this right. Floyd Burmeister, and who's from GWV, which is the Greater Western something. Sorry. I don't know my Talents League names. What is it? Greater Western Coates Talent League. Greater Western something. Great Western Victoria Rebels. There you go. GWV. And then we got Gabriel Stumpf, who's also from the Northern Knights. So these are probably the players that we're hoping slide with our picks in the 50s. They will, I guess, fall closer to the 40s because of all the father-son and the academy bids. So clubs are giving away their picks in the 30s or 40s to get or to match a bid for an Ashcroft or to match a bid for the Camporellis or whoever it may be, right? Maybe the Camporellis, they're not going to be in the high echelons of the draft, but certainly your Lombards, your Kakos from Essendon, these types of players will force clubs to burn or match the bid and burn picks in that 30 to 40 range, which brings us a little bit closer to where we want to be. So that's how we get an eye on some of these players. I will, I guess, share some footage on some of these players for you guys if you want to know a bit more about Thomas Sims, Charlie Nichols, Floyd Burmeister, and Gabriel Stumpf. Just let me know. Just checking into the comment section what's going on over here. Kev, how you going, mate? What's happening? What's happening in the world of Kev's Magpies? Shano, how are you? They're Manny, very good trade, great depth. All the players that have been traded are AFL players, not VFL players. Dean and McInnes signed up. I don't think so. Doesn't seem like it. Let me check. Doesn't seem like it yet. I'll see if there's any updates on Twitter while we're here. Bear with me. Nope. No updates on that, Spargo. Matt, here's the thing, right? I make the case that if we win a flag next year or the year after, it's all worth it. I'm totally content with mediocrity for a few years if we go that route. That's worst case scenario, right? Let's say worst case scenario, we don't win a flag in the next 2 years. I'm not sold on the fact that we're gonna just, I guess, plummet to the bottom of the table. I trust the club. All trades were gold for sure. Tom Wilson. Is he a prospect, Lockie? Dennis Banks, 1990 Premiership player. Champs, kind of what's going on, brother? Hello, did you hear that? Essendon are telling their fans to be patient. They're going down a draft route for the next 3 years. That means it'll be 25 years since a final. So now they're rebuilding again, are they? Not much, man. Just we're just here. We're just here. Great video insight, say champs. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. No way we're cooked in 2 years. We'll be fine. Did you see my video on the Alex Condon, the NBA prospect? So he was spoken about, and I know a few of you have brought him to my attention. So I thought I'd better do my part and look into it a bit more. And we found out a bit more about Condon. He was actually in 2022 a first round draft pick prospect, and we actually might get him as a Category B rookie if things don't work out in America. I would say next year would be the time that we potentially get Alex Condon from the wings of the NCAA, which is the NCAA. If you look at it in the terms of Australia, it's probably similar to the Coates Talent League. That's probably where I draw the comparison. So people typically get directly drafted from the NCAA. Alex is within that pool at the moment. There were talks that he could have been drafted to Collingwood via the rookie draft this year. But because he had such a good freshman year, I think he's biding his time there a little bit longer to see if this NBA dream is real or not. And there's articles talking about him being a part of the Boomers in 2028. So I think we're going to have to hold our breaths a little bit longer when it comes to this player. He's a ruckman. He's 6'11". He reeks of Mason Cox, except he has prior footy experience, played for the under-17 nationals for Western Australia. And yeah, what a great club would be for Alex to come to with Fly, who has recently had experience bringing up someone like Mason Cox, who came from a basketball background. There we go. Didn't take me long to mention that. I didn't mention basketball background in that video I made today. I'm proud. All right, we'll still have a future second that we can deal with to get into this draft, and then the following year we can trade 2 years in advance to get enough picks. Yeah, you can, Rick, but there's a tax on getting into the draft this year. So if we want to trade our future second from next year into this year's draft, it means we're going to have to pay overs to get into it because of the, I guess, not the instant gratification, but it's this year's draft is here right now. So if you want to trade into this year's draft, you're going to have to pay overs. So it will be interesting to see how that goes. Oh, yeah, Tom Wilson wore number 12. That's right. Now he's playing basketball. Tom, I'm good, brother. How are you? How's the content going? I think Dean's future depends on if we get Tomlinson. Really? I think our list allows Tomlinson and Dean to be both on the list, right? So we did some quick maths the other day, and we have 39 on the list right now, right? We have 33 on the senior list. We need 36 to go into next year. So if we bring Membry and Tomlinson, that's 2 seniors added to the list. That gets us to 35 and 41 overall. Even if we use 3 draft picks, right? That'll get us to 38 and 45. Let me just pop up Pommy's list. It'll be better to do it that way. Pommy's got a mega book. Pommy's got a mega book, ladies and gentlemen. I'll share it. I'll share it so you can see it. So okay. So shout out Pommy for this. Guys, if you aren't subscribed to Pommy, please consider, because without the man, I can't articulate my point here. So we're currently, like I said, we're at 33 for the senior list, okay? So if we bring in Tomlinson and Membry, that takes us to 35 and 41, right? If we take 3 in the draft, that will get us to 44, including these 3 players, right? So what that means is if we were to bring in a Luke Quaynor, he would fall short. He would, right? And make that clear again. So we get Tomlinson and Membry takes us to 35, and then we get 3 players in the national draft, takes us to 38, which is the maximum capacity for our senior list. And then it means Reef McInnes, Charlie Dean, and Ned Long can stay on the list. The issue is, like I said, with Luke Quaynor, if he's not good enough, maybe he just signs up for the VFL side rather than being on the rookie list. That's what I think. Hopefully that makes sense. Tom Scully from Port. What do you mean? Tom Scully. Is it the guy who played for Melbourne and GWS? I think we will. Flynn Appleby. Where does Condon? He plays as a ruckman, but he's currently in America playing for college. Matt, obviously that one is going to compromise the draft for other clubs, but I guess we managed through GWS and Gold Coast expansion. No, Chris, how you going? Sharonberg, number 12, of course. Yeah, with Dacos now head of recruiting, we'll be fine. I don't think so. Like with what I've just shown, guys, I think we'll be fine with the list spots available. There we go. Aggie, thank you. Josh Carmichael was the last to wear number 12. No updates on Tomlinson yet. Dennis Banks. Shilabia, what's going on? Shadzi, how are we? We could fit in both Dean and Tomlinson, but maybe we feel we don't need Dean anymore, even with the draft coming. It just doesn't make sense. If we get rid of him, we'll be one short on a list, in a list spot. Does that mean we take that to the preseason supplementary period? That's a real possibility as well, Lockie. Get off it, Paul. No, he got delisted today. It's on the AFL app. Who got delisted? Let me see. Tom Scully or Tom Scully? Did he? I thought he retired. Tom Scully. It's a different Scully. He's a towering forward standing at 203 centimeters. He was dominant for West Adelaide in the SANFL under 18 competition. Interesting. What about our new recruits? What about them, Nathan? What about the new recruits? Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like with Harvey, he's young, so I wouldn't expect to see him back before the halfway point. That's my bet. Just because the ligaments take a bit longer to mature and recover when you're a bit younger. So I wouldn't risk it. I don't know if he goes on the long-term list, though. Are we going to get Hayes? I'm not too sure. I think Houston, without knowing the intel, I think Houston will wear number 9, Nathan, and Perryman probably wear number 12. I don't think Perryman wants to wear number 36. There's too much pressure on that number. Dean isn't going anywhere. My screen looks so small right now, and I don't know how to adjust. It's weird. Maybe I zoom in here. No, that didn't work. Bear with me. All right, that'll do. We should get Steve Silvani to replace Graham Wright. You reckon? Why do you say that, Dom? We have to be very patient if we were to get Luke Quaynor. Look, it seems like Luke Quaynor, I think best case scenario is we get Luke Quaynor into the VFL side and not even on the rookie list just yet. Get him to prove himself that he is capable at VFL level. Alex, how you going? More is too soft, you reckon? We'll find out more about him next year. He's a premiership player after all. He's an All-Australian. Had a bad season. It's all about whether you can bounce back, right? Mello, how are you? How you doing? How are we? Reef is going nowhere. I don't think any of these players are going anywhere unless they want to open up another spot for the preseason supplementary period, especially if they use those 3 picks in the draft, which Leper has identified that he wants a key position player in the draft, right? Delisted free agents, guys. So some of you have been talking about Curtis Taylor. We can bring that up. We can talk a bit more about Curtis Taylor. Here's the thing. If we do get another player on top of Tomlinson and Membry, then I definitely think Reef, Charlie Dean, or Ned Long will no longer be at the Collingwood Football Club because we need to make space on the list. Let's go Wheelo. Curtis Taylor's an interesting one because North Melbourne have a decent pool of medium-sized forwards, and that's what Curtis Taylor is. So let's share the screen. Let's go share screen, remove. Share this tab instead. Here we go. Okay, so where are we at? So he's played 76 games. He's 24 years old, so he'll be 25 next year. So he had some consistency across these two, 2023, 2022, 2021, okay? Let's have a look at 23 first. So what? He averaged 14 disposals. Largely an outside player, uncontested ball. Didn't play any midfield time. More of a forward, right? Maybe winger. 9 goals here, 9 goals there. Just 3 after playing 8 games. So I think he was more of a... Was he more of a winger then last year in 2023? I know with North Melbourne, they're not going to kick many goals either way, right? 10 disposals. What was his time on ground? 63% this year. So I guess with someone like Curtis Taylor would be a backup for players in the forward line like Elliott, like McCreary, like Schultz, like Bobby Hill. And he's young, okay. So I don't think he goes without a club next year, whether it's at Collingwood or not. I'm not too sure, but I'm just yeah, he's young, okay. So there's a chance there. A lot of you have been mentioning Sam Wiedemann, which I'm personally not a big fan of, but we can have a look at some of his best years, which he probably hasn't had a good year in many years, to be fair. He's 27. Let's see. Yeah, so he's been in the system for nearly 9 years. Had his best year in 2018 where he played 10 matches. But his best returning year was in 2020, which was actually the COVID year. So that's a decent return. Average a goal and a half. Clunked a few here. Marks inside 50. And then 2021, he only played 5 games for Melbourne, then 10. Kicked 13 in 10 games, which is okay. He played okay in 2023, kicking 15 goals. It's a goal a game for a key position footballer at Essendon. Hasn't kicked more than 20 goals in a year. It's concerning. It is. And here's the thing. I've said this time and time again, right? Players come to Collingwood and usually up their game. It's just the nature of the environment, the high standards, playing in front of big crowds. That's what you get when you come to Collingwood, right? So does that happen to Wiedemann where he comes to Collingwood and can do that? Yes, but I just don't think he's showing enough promising signs. He played 1 game this year. He played 1 game for Essendon. And Essendon didn't make finals. So who else is there? Granger Barras. He's someone who should be on the cards. Like, if we delisted Charlie Dean, we should be going all out for Granger Barras. Did he play in 2023? He missed the whole of that this year. Yeah, he did play in 2023. He would have played limited games, but let's see. He played 7 matches. Shit. Add. So played 7 games. Not really fussed about the touches, am I? Didn't do a whole lot, did he? But this is someone who's a prospect, right? He was a former top 10 pick. He's played 28 games. He's 22 next year. Still young. Like, whoever gets their hands on this guy is going to have a real crack at getting out of Granger Barras what Hawthorn would have hoped for. But Hawthorn, they've got Josh Battle, they've got Tom Barras, they've got Sicily, they've got Frost. There's no room for Granger Barras to develop. So for you to get this man for free is a great return. Like, in his second year, averages a 1.5 intercept marks, nearly 2 in his 5 games in 2021. There's potential there. So I'm hopeful for wherever this guy goes. I hope he can live up to the expectations of that top 10 pick. I'd love for it to be at Collingwood. I really would, but I'm not too sure if that's going to be the case. Some of you guys have said Quinton Narkle. Let's have a look at Quinton Narkle, guys. So he's from Geelong. He's played at Port as well, hasn't he? Yeah, he has. So he's been in the system since 2018. He came in at 21. He played 13 games this year and was probably the sub for most of them, right? 47% time on ground, which suggests he would have been the sub many times. Doesn't collect a whole lot of coaches' votes, right? 7 touches. Oh, is he kicking goals at least? What's he doing? Like, consistency at the highest level is probably what he's lacking. Like, did he have any good games in 24? Did he have a big return? Let's have a look at his most recent games, actually. He played in the prelim against Sydney. He played 63% time on ground, 7 touches, pretty quiet. He was okay I think he would have come on as a sub in this one for Port vs Hawthorn. 13 touches, 12 kicks, 38% disposal efficiency. We'll try and ignore that. 8 contested possessions, 6 ground ball gets, 2 shots, no goals, 1 score involvement. So, yeah, that one's a bit of a stab in the dark for mine. But he did get opportunities late in the year. But look, 4 disposals, coming on as a sub. So that's a tough one, right? And then there's another one you guys are mentioning who's Jay Cully. Did he play any AFL football this year for West Coast? If you're not staying on a list at West Coast where Jack Darling's just left, yeah, you got Marriott, you got Oscar Allen. So look, they're not deprived of key tall prospects. He played 5 games, has he? Played 4 games in 22, 5 games in 23, 3 games in 24. To be delisted at 21 as a key forward could be considered stiff. What did he get drafted at? Jay Cully draft. Was he a mid-season draft or what was he? Let's see. Jay Cully draft. He's 193, so he's not exactly, or he was 193 when he was younger. He was a number 1 mid-season draft pick. Okay. Yeah, in the mid-season rookie draft in 2022. Okay. So he plays 4 games there, 5 games in 23. Let's just have a look at his, because he's only played less than 15 games, right? So let's go all seasons. Did he get any? He's never gotten coaches' votes, which we're not expecting from a key forward. He kicked 4 goals against Port Adelaide in round 6 last year, which is his highest return. Beyond that, he's just kicked singles. But very tough to expect that from him. Very tough to expect that for there to be any greater return from a key forward that plays at West Coast that isn't named Jack Darling or Oscar Allen, right? How tall is he right now? Let's see. Jay Cully. He's a mid-forward. So he's a big-bodied mid-forward. Averaged 10 touches this year, 2.3 tackles. So actually played more as a midfielder than a forward. Okay. All right. Might be something worth looking at, guys. Originally from Victoria, so you'd imagine that he'd want to return to a Victorian club, right? What do we think? Those are some of the delisted free agents that we could look at, guys, if we make a little bit more space on our list, which means Ned Long might get delisted, which means Charlie Dean could be delisted. Because if we take Tomlinson and Membry, and then we take the 3 picks in the draft, we don't have enough room to make space for another delisted free agent. We need to open up one more space on the list. So I'll show you here once again, just so we're clear on what we're saying. Let's go here, share screen. So I said this earlier, but we'll just reiterate it, okay, so we understand. So this is Collingwood's list. We currently have 39 right now. We have 33 on the senior list. So if we had Tomlinson, Membry, that takes us to 35 on, excuse the dogs. We take Tomlinson, Membry, takes us to 35, right? And then we take 3 in the national draft, takes us to 38, okay? So that's 5 additions. So we get 38 here, and then 5 onto the entirety of the list takes us to 44. So if we do want to look at more delisted free agents, perhaps in the preseason supplementary period or in the delisted free agency period, we'd have to get rid of one of these to make space here, because with the 3 picks in the national draft, with the 2 delisted free agents, we need to make space to get one of those players in. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. So the salary cap should be looking good for Collingwood. We've got a bunch of players on one-year contracts who are probably taking lesser contracts to be a part of a side that still has premiership aspirations, right? Yeah, he'll be delisted. Charlie Clark, who's that, Mello? I think Dean will be on a proper contract instead of a rookie contract, so we might delist him and re-sign him to save money. No, so Dean is, let's double check. Yeah, Charlie Dean, let me tell you, one moment. I'm pretty sure he's rookie listed. Where is this bugger? He's a rookie. He's rookie listed already, so he's not on the senior list. So we wouldn't be saving money by delisting him and re-rookieing him. Is that Theone? Have you changed your name to I Love Japan? Dean should become a fool, you reckon? Nick Maxwell would be a good replacement, you think? I would also prefer Granger Brass over Tomlinson. No one Narkle. Yeah, Narkle's a spard. Just because of the Tassie, yes, the draft will be compromised, but they will never hold all those players. Just think how many good GWS and Suns players have ended and continue to end up. Yeah, good point, Nathan. Great point. Galispera. Marchbank from Carlson would be okay as a backup defender. Nah. Rowan's too injury prone. And yeah, Parfit maybe. Tim, how you going? Tim from Sunny Coast. Good to hear from you. So even if we rookie Dean, right, with what I've just explained, we would still be over the limit if we added another player into the list. That makes sense. Yeah, it's a tough one, Theo. It is a tough one, mate, isn't it? Simply Membry is better than Reef. See you, Reef. See you later, D. Not up to it either. Parfit is a stat patter. Yeah, I guess, look, those are what's happened to DGB from Hawks. Well, he's probably going to be delisted because they haven't offered him a contract yet. He's got Josh Battle, Tom Barras, Sam Frost, and Sicily ahead of him. So I think that Hawthorn are just going to, I guess, allow him to go elsewhere. And there's no way he doesn't end up with the club. There's no way he doesn't end up with the club. I'm just hoping it's Collingwood. I think Carlton are interested. I imagine St Kilda might be interested as well. That could be something. So, yeah. Keep popping in the questions, guys. We'll keep pumping them out. What else have we got for you? We spoke about Perriman's number, Alex Condon, if you see my video today. We might look at some players that we could be taking in our picks in the 50s, which hopefully get closer to 40. We'll have a look. I've got some ready. So we've got Charlie Nichols, guys. We'll share this tab. Charlie Nichols is someone who might slide. Here we go.
Dodson and Henry at it. Going to speak a lot about Dodson today. Sharp to Draper. There's two pretty handy players for South Australia. Inside 50. How about the kick from the captain? Perfect.
Good hand. So this is in the national championships. Good lead up there. Strong hand. That's nice.
To Charlie Nichols.
Tuned up with 31 disposals for South Adelaide at under 18 level at the weekend. And he looks a real player for mine.
Nichols.
So just for context, he got 11 disposals, 9 marks, 4 of them contested, 6 score involvements, and a goal.
With South Australia's first ball. Hat kick away there from the Crow Eaters. It's being marked here by Nichols, presenting all the way up on the wing. Bradley's tracking back. It heads in that direction.
So this is me being critical, but this is probably where you want Charlie.
Hat kick away there from the Crow Eaters.
He could be looking inside here. Okay.
It's being marked.
You wouldn't knock him for not taking that. There's another sequence of wave of players who come through the corridor that he could.
Nichols presenting all the way up on the wing.
He could hit this in space, and that opens up options there, and there. Okay, so would like to see him, I guess, bite off a bit more than he could chew here and live with it. Back your ability. Instead, he goes for the long option. It's still there. So look at all that space there. He could have even switched here if there's no one behind him.
Bradley's tracking back. It heads in that direction, but it will fall short of him. And an easy intercept.
Handball out wide to Tom McKay. Deep entry for the South Aussies. Nichols front.
He did okay. 2v1 there, no?
And it sat up superbly. Kicks towards half forward. A well-weighted kick from Jet Hastings. One to watch today. Goes short to Nichols, who's
looks inside that time, but has an easier kick.
Presenting well. Father-son for Port Adelaide. One to watch for the Power fans. Well read here by Nichols and staying.
Good read. He read the ball put his defender under the ball there and got the hands off.
Down was Hargrave.
Another bottom major I like what I've seen of him so far in the trial games and in the first match in the championships.
He's 200 centimetres as well, by the way.
It's no time. And looks for a teammate inside 50 over the head of Welsh. Big thump away. Matt Whitlock. Lovely sidestep from the big fella. Not such a nice handball, though. Might be a very costly.
Newton. Chain it nicely down the ground here, South Australia. This has been the missing link. Nichols right on the edge of the 50. He's got a lead from Rosenzweig deep. Welsh doubles back now.
Easy, super pass there.
Dobson back to Ben Campriale. Around the body now. Nichols in prime position coming from the back. Couldn't take it. Flicked on by Hargrave. He knows how to find it. He's Ben Campriale again. Kicks inside the 50. Nichols
just needs to hold on to those, yeah. And I think that will come with age. He definitely seems like a bit of a project player, Nichols, right? I think this is someone who, if we do draft, will probably spend quite some time in the VFL.
Two hands to it. Can't take the mark.
Drew the short option of coming and decided to go long down the line. Nichols from behind. Brought the ball to ground. So clean at ground level was Draper. Nichols' kick was smothered. Excellent defensive play.
When he has kicked a goal so far this season. Kick targets Welsh inside 50 for the Crow Eaters. Lloyd's been impressive in defence for Vic Country. Tries to turn the corner. Got the handball away. Nice work inside forward 50 from Bowman. Nichols dropped it. Bowman's been quiet. He almost spotted up Nichols there.
He seems like he's a project player,
yeah? I think Charlie will want to have that one back, the birthday boy from yesterday. That was a gift, and he's been given a gift with the free kick.
The free kick as
what can he do with this?
That's funny.
Turned 18 yesterday. He's not going to unwrap that one and find something inside it that he liked. Now the kick inside the 50. Rosenzweig couldn't take the mark. Spinning move was excellent there from Ned Bowman. Hooks it across the face of goal, and the mark's paid to Nichols. Both of them from further out than this. Be able to whip it around the corner, get his first, and South Australia only 4 points behind. Clark's had a pile of it, bringing it in from fullback for the Crow Eaters. Found
now he's starting to heat up.
Ben Campriale drove it up the line, and Nichols has got it just behind the wing.
Nice.
Intelligent kick for Del.
Looks a bit unsteady with the ball. His decision making, he's unsure of himself, but he does end up delaying the play enough there to make the right decision.
Menico, it creates. Newton keeps it alive. Centering kick. Nichols had Country defenders.
Looks towards the top of the goal square, and it's all Vic Country. Nichols provided a contest. No free kick paid. It allows an opportunity for Newton, who snaps and pounces.
Draper, he's lifted his team when they've needed him. Hands it off to Dodson. Crow Eaters back inside the 50. Nichols made the space, pulls it in with one hand and then a second to his chest. Kicked one earlier in the term from close range. He's had his struggles from a little bit further out, Charlie Nichols.
He could have had 4 or 5 in this game. He's only kicked 1.
That continues.
Welsh in a big one-on-one. Dersma doesn't arrive. Welsh almost took it one-handed. Kept his feet. Nichols arrives. And Dersma did well in the end.
Round arm.
I wonder if Adelaide or Port Adelaide would entertain him. He's from South Australia. I wonder what picks they have available for someone like Nichols.
To the chest of McKay. Barker sends it out wide. Nichols has had a sticky pair of hands all day. He goes inside the 50 to Welsh, who just couldn't hang on. Lucas Campriale, handball back to McKay. Campriale off a step up toward half forward on Nichols. Why not? He's clunked everything today. Looks inside the 50. Welsh will be the target.
He's done all right. He's heated up in that second half, and he found the sticky hands eventually. So that's one of the prospects in the hopefully in the 40s/50s that Collingwood can pick up on. I have another player as well that we're hearing about, and that's Gabriel Stump. We'll go Floyd. We'll go Floyd first. Floyd Burmeister's another prospect. Oh, sorry, I'm not even sharing the screen. I apologize. 1 second. Sorry. Share screen. I don't think he will be first round, Luke. Big boy. He's huge as well. Ruck forward, it seems. Left footed. Massive leap on him. Okay. They played the national championships as well. Kale Gearin is another. Seeing bits and pieces, aren't we? Really comfortable running with the ball, though, it seems. Seems like a link-up type of ruck forward prospect. Really comfortable to get the ball rolling. Seems certain on his decisions, which is good. Didn't hesitate under the flight of the ball there either. Brave enough to take them up. Some serious hops. Not scared to run with the ball, which is good for a ruckman. Look at that. Good tackle. All right, not bad. Let's have a look at Thomas Sims. He's another one that we've been speaking about. So I believe this is for the Northern Knights. He played for Vic Metro in the national championships. Really good hands. I'm not sure if he'll slide enough for us to get a hold of him. I'm not too sure. Yeah, really good jump. Reminds me of Tim English to a certain extent. Sims' greatness has also played in the ruck though as well, hasn't he? He pinch hits in the ruck. See, nice. I really like his kicking action as well. Nice. Good quick hands in the contest there. Really good quick hands there again. Yeah, good awareness. Yeah, I reckon, Luke, we'll get what we're given. Whoever's available in the key position stocks, we'll just end up taking, right? I'm not sure if Thomas Sims will get to our picks. He's quite more of a complete forward. Really good lead up, good hands, good composure. Definitely better than Charlie Nichols, in my opinion, and Bermgeister. Bermgeister's more of a ruck forward. And then Nichols is... It seems like Nichols is the type of player who might take 5-6 years to actually develop. There is another player we have, Gabriel Stumpf as well. So we'll have a look at old mate here. Share the screen, one moment. Stump will be at our pick, you reckon, Greatness? Let's have a look at that then. The right person was there, we'd move up. So there's another Northern Knights prospect, by the way. Plays in the same team as Thomas Sims. Pretty tall. Yeah. So Greatness, when you say when you suggest that we can trade up in the draft, right? What are we going to give up? Can we trade away futures in live trading? We can. So you're suggesting we'll trade future seconds next year to move up in the draft? Is that what you're thinking? I wouldn't imagine we'd swap our pick, do pick swaps. No one's going to take our picks. I feel like most clubs have got their bids ready to go. They're for the academies, for the father, sons, and whatnot. So, yeah. But yeah, that's basically it, isn't it? Those are some of the draft prospects we can look at bringing in. Would we just take a tall or just play best player available? Lepa has said they want to bring in some key position players. Maybe. I mean, I would imagine we'd want to go for some key position players. Best key position player available, perhaps. Okay, so Greatness, you say you can, but you have to get the same round back. We have to keep our future second, but unsure on future third. So how come we have to keep our future second? Why is that? Explain to me. Explain to the comment section, to the viewers. Why do we have to keep our future second? Why can't we swap that? Are you saying because of McGuan or for another reason? Enlighten me. Guys, keep pumping out the questions. We've got another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll call it an evening. But yeah, get your comments in now. Any questions, I'm happy to answer, and we'll go from there. Cox 33, Smith replacement. We have to keep it because we traded our first. So you're only allowed to trade your future second or it's the rule because the AFL don't want clubs to go all out and pick. So it's basically a babying rule. So what does that mean? You can only trade a future first or a future second. What's the actual rule stipulation? Yeah, Smith could be an option for Cox, for Mason Cox. Yeah, future third rounds have no currency points wise. They'll have less currency next year. Boomer, how you doing, Boomer? How you been? Good to see you in the chat, mate. Let's find out. Trading futures rules, trading future picks, AFL rules. Let's see if we can find out. Okay, so here we go. Here it is. I'll share the screen. So we're all clear on how it works. Believe, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we know that they're okay, yeah, whatever. Future. Okay, rule provision. Clubs are looking to see if there are provisions within rules that could allow them to trade out their future first and second round picks to unlock deals. Under the AFL's rules, Clubs can trade out a future first-round draft selection, but if they do that, must retain the rest of their future selections for that draft. If they trade out a second, third, or fourth round future pick, they must hold their first rounder for that year. Okay. Does that make sense, guys? So because we've given up our future first, we can't give away future seconds or future thirds, the rest of our future selections. So in that case, we're probably not going to be able to trade greatness. We're probably not going to be able to trade into this draft because we've already given away our future first for next year. So the only way we can trade up is if we somehow bundle our picks in the 50s to a club that would want them, which I don't know if that's going to be possible, to be honest. Trade a first, second, and a future one is available. A future two isn't. If you trade both first, you're going to keep both seconds. So did you see the rule provision there? But that's that. Guys, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I will probably do like a weekly update like this and just chill out and provide updates. But in the meanwhile, I'll always be posting videos throughout the week. I've posted, 3 in the last 24 hours or something. So check out the NBA prospect video I shared today in regards to Alex Condon, a potential Category B rookie. So have a look at that, and we'll see you guys hopefully in the next week or so. Take care, guys. Go Pies.